I'm John Tinker, and I'm in Fayette, Missouri, at the old public school building here. I bought 15 years ago. And we're in the printing shop. I've got a lot of old letterpress equipment here. It's been an old hobby of mine. And the new interloper in this room is the computer cluster, or server cluster.
So what's going on right now with where are you at now with that?
Well, the project here is to capture a piece of world history. I've got code running that collects daily news on about 15,000 topics, and it's bringing in about there are about 20,000 unique web pages that are referenced every day, and I'm storing this data on these old servers here. I present the recent news on my website, schema-root.org, which is an encyclopedia of current events. And what you're seeing here in this room is an attempt to get away a little bit from too heavy a reliance on the leased server that I have. I have a regular hosting service that hosts my website. It's connected to the close to the backbone, the internet backbone. It has very fast response time that I wouldn't be able to achieve if I were hosting the site here over my DSL line. But about a year ago it became evident that I was using my inexpensive hosting account to the maximum, and I wasn't going to be able to push it much more. And so I decided that rather than spending quite a bit more per month to get a more robust, larger server from a hosting company, that I would get my own server and try to do as much of the processing that I need to do for my website right here, and then upload the files. I really haven't accomplished that entirely, but I've got a good start at it. I started shopping around for servers on eBay, and was amazed at how inexpensive they are these days. This is my first one. I don't have these all turned on because if I did, you wouldn't be able to hear me. The fan noise is quite loud. It may be too loud just with the one down here running and the uninterruptible supply down there. Anyway, this was my first server. It's an Intel SC5200. It has a single processor that's running at about 2.5 gigahertz, and the processor has 2 cores in it. This came with 4 250 gigabyte drives that I have configured as a RAID, so I have 500 gigabytes of RAIDed storage in this server. And I ended up dedicating this one to a backup for all the other ones. I decided to go with Linux, which I had no experience with at the time, and I tried various installations of Linux, and when I got around to trying one called Debian, it worked for me first time. And since then, I've developed quite an affection for the Debian installation of Linux. And it's been a very steep learning curve, the whole project. And I just kind of decided to climb that learning curve and to deal with the issues as they came up, one at a time. It's been quite a bit of head scratching, but luckily there's a lot of help available on the web. If you have a problem, you can just do a Google search on try to find the terms that match your problem as closely as you can, and I always include Debian in the search, and I usually find somebody that has an answer for me. I've been setting these servers up in what's called the LAMP configuration, L-A-M-P. That stands for Linux, Apache, PHP, and or MySQL, and then PHP, LAMP. Linux is the operating system that makes the parts of the computer function together in concert. Apache is the name of the web server. It's the most popular web server in the internet. M stands for MySQL, which is the database, and it's an open source. All of the software is open source. MySQL is a very robust, very scalable open source database, and PHP is a scripting language. And I've written my website extensively in PHP, and I use also MySQL as the database. So I got these set up little by little, getting various parts of it functional, bringing up the Apache web server, getting PHP installed, getting MySQL running, and all of those software components now I've got pretty well figured out and operating well together.